Hello, welcome to Unicycle.com videos. Another video from requests. I love the requests. So we got a request some time ago now, but asking about how much pressure do you put in your tyre, and there isn't a straight answer. So I'll try and give you some indication of how to do it. What I will say straight away, there is a pressure shown on the side of the tyre. So inflate to 65 psi, 40 to 60 psi. This does not mean you pump this to 40 to 60 psi. If you pump this tyre to 60 psi, it'll be rock solid and be unrideable. That is not what you're needing to pump to, and let me see if I can explain that. So to begin with, let's show you how to pump the tyre up. So you have your valve. Oh, by the way, this is seriously flat. We deflated this for the video. So take off the valve cap, put that down gently, don't lose. So grab our pump, just using a track pump here. So if you push the pump on, this one's got a lever. There are different versions. Some pumps you just hold on. Now, nice gentle actions. Use the full stroke of the pump when you're doing it. Now, I'm going to pump this to 20 psi. Now, actually, that's higher than I wanted to go because I wanted to explain something with that. So let me just put the cap back on. The cap doesn't keep the air in, it keeps the dirt out of the valve. So this is actually, this is a Leaf, by the way. It's designed for 8 to 10 year olds, 8 to 12 year olds maybe, but it's a kid's unicycle. I'm using this one on purpose. It has a narrow rim, narrow tyre. It's a 1.75 tyre. So I'm going to ride this, and you can actually see the tyre is almost on the ground. Let me do that again. So as I put my weight on it, you can see the tyre was squished. Now this tyre with this pressure in, I will tell you, is actually too much for most kids riding on this unicycle, and this is 20 psi. And remember, I said this tyre said 40 to 65 psi. Don't believe it. That is correct for most 10-year-olds, I would say, or unless we have some, I think they must be 7-year-olds who are riding on these at the local club, and they will have 15 psi in. So, but obviously that's not appropriate for me. So let's see where I need to be on this. Oops. Let's put the pump the right way around. Again, same thing. Put the valve down so I don't lose it, and let's put a bit more air in. So I'm going to put this up to 40 psi. There we go, that's 40 psi. Hear the difference in the sound. Now this, you can actually see, that is quite solid. And you'll see the effect when I actually ride on it. You can see, it does bulge out, but the unicycle is in control. So this is where I would ride this tyre, but actually it's, in my opinion, and I think most people's opinion, this is actually too much for this wheel setup. I would say 40 is the maximum you would ever want it on. I am 76 kilograms. Occasionally you see people who are 80, 90 kilograms riding these. To get them to ride on something like this, the only way to do it is to put it at 60 psi. Too much for this rim, too much for this tyre. But that's a totally different story. I always say, buy the right unicycle. Kids unicycle for kids. Okay, so there's your kids unicycle, there's the tyre pressure. Next, let's go on to look at Muni. Here we are with a Muni. This is just one of the office Munis. You probably know by now, there are lots of unicycles that are office toys. This one I don't know where this has been sitting, because I haven't seen this for ages. You can actually see some of the dust on it, and it's absolutely flat. So I'm going to put this in, the pressure in, and let's talk about the pressure we need to go to. So, bigger tyre, we're not talking at 40 psi, and I don't even know. So this actually says 35 psi. You would never ride this at 35 psi. So 35 psi. But we'll come to that, and let's work out what it needs to go to. So this is a 3-inch tyre, is this one. So it's quite a big volume tyre. The bigger the volume of the tyre, the less air you need in it to have them controllable. So I'm sure some of you have seen the Hatchet unicycles, which are, what are they, 3.5 inch tyres. Oh no, they're not, they're 4.25 tyres. They need quite often less than 10 psi in them. So 3-inch tyre, it takes a lot of pumping, as you can see, compared with, I'm going to stop at 15. Oh no, it's not, that's 18. Okay, we're going to try that at 18, and let's see what it feels like. So, okay, you can see I've got a fair bit of squish in that, but it's pretty solid, and let's see what it does when I ride it. So it was at 18, this was, wasn't it? Ooh, so 18 psi, and this would be my off-road pressure. That's nowhere near the 35. 18 psi. Now, you know I'm only light, but that's right for me. Let's go over there are different reasons to have different pressures. So that would be okay for my riding in the forest. I would not have it this pressure if I was riding around on grass or anything like that. I'd put more pressure in. Off-road unicycles come alive, absolutely alive at the right pressure off-road. So this, as I said, as soon as I got on it, I knew that was right for me. Let me put the pressure up and let's see what it does. So, find the valve. There we go. Actually, I think that probably was closer to 15. But I will put this up to 35 psi just to make the point of how hard this is. Now remember, this says 35 psi is recommended, as I say. Too hard. There we go. 35 psi, a little bit above, but it will be when I take that off. Put the valve cap on. Now, you can see I'm quite hard to press that, pretty solid. And what's it like to ride? So, hardly any movement, hardly. And you can actually see I can scrub the wheel, and it's actually harder to ride at this higher pressure because it's not got the grip. It's jittery, it's all over the place. There is somewhere in between these two. So if I was riding in the park on a gravel track, not really off-road, but it's kind of compacted gravel, I'd have somewhere like 20-25 psi. It would be closer to this. I would never ride this at this pressure. So hopefully some guidance there and some insight about finding the right pressure for you and the right pressure for the environment where you're riding. So anyway, there we go. A little video on tyre pressures. Whoops. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like the video, like the channel, do all of that stuff, and let's see you in the next video.